Ooh, fancy seeing you here! And welcome to another video about grass identification. Today we're at Castle Hill Nature Reserve. As I take my first few steps into the reserve, I'm greeted by a number of familiar items. Detritus, Deschitus, and Uninvitus. And also this coconut. Anyway, we will not be distracted by such delights. It is time to move on to our very first grass of the day. As we can see, it forms this dense, floppy tussock. Sort of stands out compared to the grasses around it. And you can see some dead growth in there as well, so old leaves from years gone by. And that's a suggestion that this is a perennial grass, meaning it's a grass whose life cycle extends beyond just one singular year, unlike annual grasses. So let's take a little look at the leaf blade. The blade is pretty strap-like and flat. It's hairless. Well, it looks hairless to me anyway. It could have some super tiny hairs. And there's quite a prominent central groove as well there. It's kind of like a grey-green colour, or glaucous, as that sort of greyish green is usually described in botany. So when we flip the leaf over, we can actually see quite a prominent ridge in the middle, where that central groove has come through. And for the moment we've all been waiting for, the ligule reveal. And it's a big membranous ligule, kind of looks like a fingernail, it's a large fingernail. It's slightly ragged at the top there, and it's probably about 1 centimetre in length. Sometimes when I peel the leaf blade down, it gets like a clean split in the middle, but it didn't happen this time. But maybe when it's a little bit drier. But yeah, absolute corker of a ligule. Okay, so one of the most distinctive features is this flattened base, and you can see when we turn it onto sort of a horizontal plane that it's super flat and you can't really roll it easily in between your fingers. And with that and all the other features, we know that we are looking at Cocksfoot, or Dactylis glomerata. So Dactylis means sort of hand, I believe, like pentadactyl limb, and glomerata, not entirely sure, but I think it's like globule, which is sort of describing the shape of the flowering head of the plant, which I'll put a picture of here. So it sort of looks like a hand with big globs on the end. Well, Cocksfoot, so it's like the hand of a chicken. So our next plant is quite specialised for calcareous habitats, so we're going to venture a little bit further into the reserve. And at this point, the dog poo is starting to be replaced with sheep's poo, which is a good sign. Actually, hold that thought. There's still some shidma. But look at this gorse. Lovely. Okay, so we've walked about on this hill, and what is this dead-looking tussocky mofo? Well, it's our next plant. Is in there somewhere. So we've got a flat, really quite a shiny leaf, but the real diagnostic feature is these hairs all over the leaf blade. So you might be able to see here that he's got these sort of long eyelash looking hairs on the edges of the leaf blade. The ligule is sort of barely noticeable. It's almost just like a small ridge, which you might be able to see there. And the youngest leaf in the sheath is folded. So I think that's enough for us to realise to figure out that this is upright brome, or Bromus erectus. And again, we can see lots of dead growth at the bottom, just like Cocksfoot, so this is also a perennial. Okay, so we've left the nature reserve now, and I'm taking a walk down Ditchling Road to find our next grass. And oh my god, it's a tussocky one once again. Let's give it a feel. Feels a little bit rough. That might come into play later on. Okay, so this is very, very grooved, with not really a central ridge either. And when I pull it towards me, it's rough. When I push it away, smooth, rough, smooth, rough, smooth. The youngest leaf is rolled in the sheath. And let's take a look at the ligule. And this clearly has quite prominent auricles with hairs on them. And those hairy auricles, in combination with the one-way roughness, tells us that we are looking at Tall Fescue, or Festuca arundinacea. That's it for today's grasses. Stay tuned for a brief summary of all of them, and I hope you enjoyed.